And we are excited to be joined by, what number is this, Davante? Number 6 Pro Bowl for you?
Yeah, 6 in a row.
6-time Pro Bowler Davante Adams. And Davante, does number 6 feel any different than number 1? Or are they still all like, all right, this is pretty cool?
I would say it feels different. Yeah, it does feel different. Once you get to, this sounds horrible, but once you get a few of them under your belt, it's not quite the same as far as, having to go through the whole process, but it's definitely fun. I have a good time out here with the guys, mixing and mingling with a couple guys that you obviously got your game face on when you're seeing them. So it's good to kind of be able to, meet a few new people, see some familiar faces, and just kind of appreciate what guys did, throughout the season. So it's a lot of fun getting together and doing some of the stuff. But I was definitely more excited, I would say, early on. But it's definitely a great honor, and I definitely don't take it lightly.
Yeah, and you have a great point, too, where it must be really cool for all of you guys to have that moment to just be dudes, right? To just kind of celebrate the collective accomplishment from everyone and realize, like, hey, we're the best of the best. We're here for a reason. We all balled out this year, but we don't have to have the game face on as much. We can get to know each other and kind of, like you said, just reflect on what was a really impressive year across the board.
Right. Yeah, that's the best part. Like I said, it's throughout the year, I'm not the friendliest guy on the field. After the games, it's cool. We can dap up and everything, but having this opportunity is really cool because, you just let your guard down the whole week, get to know guys, and, it helps build a couple friendships that maybe you wouldn't have gotten, not being teammates, for your post-career.
So the last time that we had you in this studio, you've been in the big studio bunch, but the last time we had you in this studio, we were exactly day one. We were getting ready for 2022, everything that was going to come with it. Now, season's over. We're reflecting, obviously, a very successful year individually. Have you had a chance to kind of reflect and kind of really understand what you did statistically in the kind of current climate of this place, of an organization that's been around for a really long time, had a bunch of incredible wideouts walk through the building, and now, less than 12 months in, your name is going to be etched with those guys forever.
Yeah, I mean, it. We talked about it day one. It was, I've been a fan of this organization for a really long time, my whole life. Family members were Raiders fans long before I was, so to kind of have a little bit of the knowledge of the people that's, have kind of been in my shoes and, they were in my shoes much earlier and did it at a really high level. It's definitely a cool thing to be mentioned with some of these people and build relationships with a couple of them too. Being able to meet Fred Blitnikoff and obviously Tim Brown. We speak multiple times throughout the season. So like I said, it's really good. It's an incredible honor to be able to be mentioned with some of those people, and I definitely don't take that part lightly. I work really hard, so to be able to see some of it pay off and obviously, we want to see it translate to a few more wins next season. But, I gave it all I had, so I'm always going – that's one thing Raider Nation they can definitely expect that from me, to give everything I got every time I get out there.
I've talked about this with Hunter before, and you certainly fall in this category too, where it takes a unique guy to understand the history of this place too, right? And it's not taking shots at any other organizations, but the reality is this organization has been around for a really, really long time. And the history, starting with Mr. Davis, it is vital. It's one of the pillars that this whole thing is built on. And like I said, I've talked to Hunter about kind of understanding and appreciating that history, but you very much kind of seem like you're cut from that same cloth. You bring up Freddie B, Tim Brown. I mean, guys that you have done it at a high level, guys that are wearing the gold jacket that I know you have aspirations to wear one day. And it's got to be nice for you to kind of sit in this moment to say, hey, look, I've done these cool things, but I can appreciate the guys that came before me and kind of laid the kind of groundwork for what we're all trying to get to.
Exactly. I mean, they paved the way for sure, and it's made it a lot easier. Having a guy like, especially, Tim being an African-American man to come in here, at a time far before I did, to come and do what he did, and, especially what was going on in the world, even at that point, it wasn't, it wasn't the Jim Brown days, but it was still a lot different than what it is now. So to be able to have guys like that, just making it okay for a guy like me to be able to do what I do, I'm forever in debt to him.
I think that's important too, because we talk about, where you grew up, an East Bay guy, and you look back and there's going to be some other kid in the East Bay, another Davante, who sees you and sees what you're doing and says, hey, I can do that too. And I'm such a big believer in people need role models. They need people to see it being done the right way, regardless of what color you are, religion, nationality, any of that. You just need to say, hey, that guy or that girl does it the right way, and I can do that too. I'm no different.
100%. I mean, the youth is really important for them to see an open door, because in that, like you said, that's what kind of sparks that in their mind, that I can do it too. So every time I go talk to kids, I make mention to, my academic career, just the way my whole journey went. And, because in often cases today, I feel like, a lot of these kids that are really good, in the Under Armour All-American games, or even guys that maybe didn't even get to that level, as far as, the stats to get them there. But you can definitely see it that it's a lot different. These guys are coming in a little bit more ready based off of things that they've seen before. I talked to them about how I didn't do as well in school. Well, they got 4.1s and they, are 4 stars or 5 stars. I'm like, look, I was way behind that and I'm here now. So that can kind of get their minds right. And, guys that are in the same position as maybe I was and, wasn't doing as good in school early on, it's still good for them to see and go, hey, well, he figured it out and he fixed it. It's not too late. I shouldn't give up, different things like that.
The one thing is, too, and I tell anyone, right, they can never take your education away from you, right? Yep. They can never take a diploma, what you've learned, anything. The football stats are great and they'll come and they'll go, but no one can ever take away the educational part of it.
Right.
But Davante, looking ahead to this week now, right, a reimagined Pro Bowl games, right, a little different than we've seen it in years past. But in general, like, how do you guys, like, what do the players kind of feel about this new reimagined way that the league is putting this week together?
Well, I think it's a little bit of mixed feelings with it. I think some guys enjoy it. Some guys want to. I'd rather play the game just because I don't want to change the way that things were. But I'm definitely with it. I understand why they want to do that. For the fans and obviously to keep guys healthy too. So it's a lot different than the basketball All-Star game, putting in the middle of the season. You're just kind of going out there hooping versus guys basically getting banged up. Every single person is going to be banged up at some point, in an NFL season. So to be able to jump into that and play a full, we're smacking each other's head and doing all that stuff, like that's not necessary. So when you kind of implement a different way to do it, it can help.
And we look at, like you said, Pro Bowl number 6 for you, but this is the first one you get to play hosting duties a little bit.
Yeah.
You and the rest of the guys in silver and black right in your backyard. We're here in the facility today where some of the events will be. And then the game itself this upcoming Sunday down at Allegiant. It must be nice for you guys, for the collective, to be like, hey, these are our digs. This is what we're about. Yeah. Let's go all have a great afternoon at Allegiant.
Absolutely. No, it's good. It's good to do a little recruiting, too. I see him scouting a little bit, seeing a couple guys. I can see him looking around, looking at the walls, and I'm like, hey, man, it's nice. So it's a lot better than whatever you got going on in the Midwest or wherever you at. So, I'm gonna definitely do my part on that. But like I said, it's just a good time to be able to get with some of these guys, walk them through a little bit.
Before I let you out of here, what does the offseason look like for you guys? I know that guys are so different in how they attack it. It seems like everyone kind of needs that downtime, that kind of mental reset, that physical reset. Right. So for you, over the next 30, 60, 90 days, like what do you got going on?
Well, a lot of golf.
Oh,
I've been traveling a little bit. I went out the country already. Went to the Bahamas for my wife's birthday. And golf.
That's good.
Did I say golf yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
So I'm getting back into my golf season, if you can't tell. Enjoying that. I would have been doing the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, but it's the same week as this, and I obviously had to come here and be around, show a few people around here. So maybe next year on that. But, just been kind of enjoying my time off a little bit, spending time with the family and golfing.
Yeah, well, it's good to be in demand, and it's good to golf, too. It's good to hit that mental reset. Well, Davante, I know you had a million things going on today. We appreciate you coming up. Hopefully we'll see you again before the start of 2023. We'll set some more goals. We'll look in the camera again,
Absolutely.
And then we'll recap at the end of the year. So stay safe. Congratulations on all the success, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, brother?
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro.